Hello everyone, my name is Danny. Today I'm going to be doing another tutorial of a beanie that I actually like. I'll show you right here. I did this in one of my videos when I was doing a channel update. As you can see, it's like a ribbed pattern. See, I'll show you what it looks like when it's on, even though this one's a little bit small. So I'm hoping I'm going to be using a little bit bigger hook and to see if that works out, but I'll show you what it looks like on. I say it's a little bit small just because I have to do more rows than I actually planned on doing. But this is kind of what it looks like on me. You can see. So I'm hoping by the end of this video you'll be able to know how to do this type beanie. I personally like this beanie instead of, you know, the standard double crochet, single crochet, stuff like that. Just because this has a little bit more design. It does take a little bit more time and it's difficult a little bit, but as you continue on with this tutorial, it gets much easier. So if this is something that you think you want to make, keep watching and let's get right into it. Alright, so right now I've already finished the beanie. This is what we'll be making in the video specifically that you're watching right now. But I want to film this right now just because, you know, I wanted you to see what it looks like, and I had one piece of information that I should mention right now instead of wait until you get to the end. Now, as you can see, here's the beanie. Got the nice ribbing effect. Now, throughout the tutorial, I kept mentioning 24 rows. Do 24 rows. Now, after doing this beanie today and using that size hook that I use, I only needed specifically 22 rows for this length. Now, what I'm recommending is once you get to row 19 or row 20, start putting the beanie on after each row, just to see if you need maybe one more row, two more, or none. So that's just a bit of information that I want to say right now before the tutorial even started. I hope this video is going to help you out, and if this is, again, something that you want to use, I just want to show you the final product of this specific video, even though I showed you a different color in the intro. So stay tuned, and good luck with making the beanie. So for this beanie, I'm going to be using a Red Heart Super Saver. You can read this if you want. The color is Gray Heather. And then you can read this if you want also. I'll also be using a 5.75mm crochet hook. Now the hardest part of this beanie in my opinion is the magic loop or magic ring. I've heard it both ways, and if I am not able to teach you how to do this through this tutorial for the beanie, then I recommend pausing it and then finding another video specifically on magic rings, and once you figure that out, then come back to this video. So I'm going to have it around my fingers like this, pull this one over like so, kind of hold it slightly with my pinky just so it doesn't fall off, but I don't have a lot of tension on it. So you're going to go through this first one, then pull that back one through. Now you don't want it too tight just because you're not going to get your loop through it to start your chains. So once you do that, you're going to come over and pick up that yarn and then pull it through. There's one, and you will be chaining 3 because it is a double crochet beanie. So 2, 3. Now with this, you can make it bigger, but you can also make it tighter. So when you're done with this round, the first round, you just pull this tail and it'll tighten everything up. In this specific beanie, your chain will count as a double crochet. So you'll be doing 23 more double crochets into this magic loop for a total of 24 double crochets. So let's get into it. This isn't as easy also, but you'll be able to do it. So double crochet, you yarn over, insert it through the loop, grab your yarn or yarn over, there's your 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through both. Do it one more time, yarn over, insert it through the loop, pull that yarn through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. So as you can see, you got 1, 2, 3, including that chain. Again, yarn over, insert it into that loop, yarn over, pull that through the loop, yarn over, pull it through the first 2, yarn over again, and pull it through the last 2. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, including the chain, you'll have 24 double crochets. So here you should have something. It doesn't have to be exactly a circle because it will tighten up, but you should have 24 double crochet including that chain. So I'll insert my hook. You don't have to remove your hook, it just kind of fell out, so I kept going with the video. You're going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain. Like so. And then your tail, you're just going to pull it tight. Now don't worry if it starts looking a little bit weird like this. I promise if you're patient and keep going with this video, it will straighten out. Good. So you're going to chain 3. Let me get my yarn. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're going to do 2 double crochets into that same stitch because your chain is counting as a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, do 1 more in that same stitch, there you go. Now into this next stitch, you're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Now do you kind of see the pattern that we're doing? In each stitch around, you're putting 3 double crochets. So you would have a total of 72 double crochets all the way around once you put 3 into each stitch. Now I want to say this before you continue on, it's going to look kind of like a flower when you finish this 2nd round. But again, be patient, it will all straighten out. Trust me on that, it will work out. So just continue that on, 3 double crochet into each stitch. You should have 72 once you get to the end. And once you're ready, and at that point, unpause and we'll continue on from there. So I just finished the 72 double crochet all the way around, and I've already chained it. As you can see, it kind of looks like a weird flower type design, but again, trust me, it will straighten out. I know I've said that multiple times already. You're probably getting tired of me saying it, but I just want to kind of make that clear. It will straighten up. So chain 3. Now this might be the confusing part. You have that one there, and this is considered a back loop. You have this next stitch right there. Oops. Right there. You're going to go into the back loop of it. So yarn over. I kind of do it like this so I could hold it. You're going to come in, go through the back, as you can see. It's right there, and then it's pulled through back here. Yarn over. See if I could show you this somehow clearly. Yarn over and pull it through. There's your 3 loops. Yarn over. Go through the first 2. Yarn over. And go through the back. This isn't as easy looking through the viewfinder, but I promise that once you do this over and over, it gets easier. So there's 2 back loops, or considered back loop. These, you're going to go into the front. This one and this one. So this pattern specifically, like the green one I showed you, it's 2 back, 2 front, 2 back, to front. So we're basically recreating this. I apologize if you hear that noise, it's the ice from a glass of tea. But anyways, so we just did the back on that one, yarn over. This one, we're going into the front. Yarn over, pull that through, yarn over, through the first two, yarn over, through the last two. Again, because we're doing two at a time, yarn over, through that front loop again, yarn over, pull it through the first two loops, pull it through the back two loops. Now, it might seem a little difficult at first, but once you get to round, say, once you complete 3 and 4 and get to the 5th round or so, it will be a lot easier because these will be more defined and you don't really have to pay attention to what you're doing. It'll just kind of happen because you're getting into that rhythm of doing it. So we have back, back, front, front. So now the next two are going to be a double crochet in the back. So yarn over, you're going to go in to the back, let's see if I can turn this over and make it easier for you to see it. Yarn over and pull it through, yarn over through the first two loops, oops, then yarn over and the last two, yarn over again, go to the back loop on this one, go through, yarn over and go through the first two loops, yarn over, go through the last two loops. Next one, yarn over, do your double crochet into the front loop, yarn over, pull through the first two loops, yarn over the back two loops. Again, this will be a front post, yarn over, go through, yarn over and pull it through. There's your 3 loops, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, go through the last 2 loops. So we have back, back loop, front loop, back, back, front, front. Now just continue that all the way around. You should end over here with your last set being front loops, like that. So go ahead and pause the video, continue on once you get to that point, and we'll continue. So I was coming up to the end of round 3, and I stopped at this point just because I mentioned on the previous section, if you did it right, your last 2 stitches will be the front post. So you got one here, and then one here. But I just want to show you that. We'll yarn over, insert it in, through, yarn over, pull that through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the next 2. Again, this will be a front post. Oops, you can't really see that right there. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Come over to your 3rd chain. Now this is already a little bit loose, but because I've done this part already, I just decided after watching it, it wasn't good enough, so I had to refilm it. Okay, so there you go. Go ahead and chain 3, it'll hold everything into place. And here you go. You see, we're sort of, getting that rib effect already. Now, this is pretty much it as far as how to do the beanie. I mean, you see, okay, let me mark that off real quick, but I like writing stuff down like this. I typically go to 24 and then I'll start trying it on just to make sure it's big enough, or if it's too big I could take a round out. But I finished round 3, and basically from 4 down to 24, or however many rows or rounds you do, it's the same pattern. you just repeat the same thing over and over. There's no more increasing, there's none of that. It's just doing the same stitches over and over. So like, for example, at the beginning of round 4, you've done your chains already. You yarn over, come into the back loop, yarn over and pull that through, yarn over, pull through both, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. Now, we see the next 2. They're sticking up or forward. These 2 will be front post. Yarn over, insert your hook. See? It's exactly what you've been doing, except now it's easier to see. Again, this one's front post. Through the, whoops, see, that can happen. No big deal, just kind of backtrack a little bit and fix it. Yarn over, pull through the front 2 loops, yarn over, and the back 2 loops. And you can see these 2 are sticking back. Yarn over, insert into the back loop, yarn over and pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, back 2 loops. Next one, you see, back post, yarn over, insert it through that back post, pull your yarn through, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, whoops, there's 2, yarn over, pull it through, and so forth. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same thing, just repeat. So I'm going to stop it at this point. Once I get to about round 10, I'll actually put a star next to 10. I'll bring the video back and I'll show you what it looks like at that point. Just continue on with repeating, you know, front loop, back, back, front, back, back, front, you know, so forth. So continue on, pause the video, and when you're ready to continue at about round 10, I'll show you what I have. So I just finished row 10. Let me pull that out so it doesn't fall out. And you can see it's starting to form into the shape of a beanie. And if you pull, you can see there's the ribbing effect, and just pull it, and it's starting to stretch out. And all I've done for the last, you know what, I can't remember how many rows I stopped at when I did this, but as you can see, it's already starting to form. I just repeated the same thing over and over from row 3, I believe it was. I might be wrong. If I am, I'll just kind of write something in text while editing this video. But yeah, this is what I'm getting so far. So go ahead and continue on. I have about 13 or 14 more rows before I finish completely, but I told you I would update it on what it looks like, and here we go. There's round 10. So I'm in a different location right now. Normally I'm filming in the kitchen or the living room, and right now, you know, I'm in my room right now. Was where I finished it. So this is, it ended up being 22 rows. I know I kept saying 24, but once I got to row 20, I kept, you know, trying it on, making sure it was good, it was perfect for length, and 22 rows ended up being perfect for me. So just once you get to that point, I hope you tried it. At the end of the day, you know, it's not that hard to take the rows out if you have to. Now, this was, what was it at? 236 yards, and this is what I have left. So it uses quite a bit of yarn. Now, I'm using one hand for this because I don't have my mount, but you can see there it kind of looks. And if you put it on, it would stretch out. And there's your ribbing effect. So I hope yours looks something like this. I hope this video helped you. If it did, give it a like, leave a comment down below. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.